What is going on, everybody? Just wanted to do my UFC 234 picks video. Probably go over the main card picks as well as point out maybe a couple other fights. A lot of people are claiming this card is top heavy, and it is. It is kind of top heavy. I mean, of course, you have Robert Whittaker, Kelvin Gastelum in the main event. This is a very, very good matchup. I saw one of my colleagues, Drake Riggs, put out a tweet earlier today, and he said that this matchup, Whittaker versus Gastelum, is essentially the middleweights version of Aldo and Ortega, and I really like that. I think that that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we'll start there. I like Whittaker to win this. You know, every time I count Whittaker out, he somehow gets the job done. I thought Jacare Souza would be the guy to get him. Nope. Proved me wrong there. Then he goes out and does that against Yoel Romero the first time. Then the second time, and I'll be the first to admit, full disclosure, I scored the second Whittaker-Romero fight in Chicago here for Romero. But that being said, Whittaker has surprised me every single time. I won't bet against him anymore. Gastelum is just like Robert Whittaker, and I think Gastelum actually has a wrestling advantage. I think he might have more hand speed. That being said, I think Gastelum is a natural welterweight. I think he's a 170-pound fighter. It's amazing that he's got this far in the middleweight division. He's incredible. What can you say about him? I think Whittaker is going to beat him. And at first I thought this fight might go a decision, but I think Whittaker's probably going to knock him out. That's what I think. Moving on to the co-main event, this is probably the most anticipated fight on the card, and this is one of the more anticipated fights in some time. Anderson Silva's returning off a 2-year layoff against Israel Adesanya. Everybody is clamoring for this fight, and I'm looking forward to it too, but I don't think it's going to be the fight we're all hoping it's going to be. I kind of think this is going to be one of those instances where they're going to kind of maybe try to goad each other into striking and kind of trying to outdo, one-up each other, and I think it's going to kind of come off tacky, and I don't know. I just don't know if it's going to live up to the hype. But that being said, I think Adesanya is going to get the job done. I don't think Anderson is as big of a dog as some places have. I've seen him as high as 600. I think that's absurd. But, yeah, I think Adesanya will win. Then you have Rani Yahya against Ricky Simon. Rani Yahya is one of those guys in this day and age, in 2019, who is like Damian Maia to a lesser degree, where he's very one-dimensional. He's just going to go out there and you know what he's going to do. Ricky Simon is well-rounded. He's a very, very tough dude at bantamweight. I think Simon's going to get the job done. I think his wrestling is going to be the difference here, and his ground and pound. I think he'll probably get a TKO. Then another interesting matchup here is another undefeated Australian fighter, Nadia Kassam. She's going against Montana De La Rosa. It's a 125-pound bout. It's going to be interesting. I'm surprised that Kassam is actually the underdog. She's a plus 200 underdog in this. I think she's going to win the fight outright. Montana De La Rosa is a tough fighter, though. She's very big for the weight class. She is very powerful, too, and her grappling impressed me. She's only 23 years old, so she's got a lot of room to really grow, but she's on a 2-fight win streak. She most recently beat Rachel Ostrovich at the Ultimate Fighter 27 finale. If you remember, she kind of beat the crap out of her. So she's riding high off a big win. She could easily come in here and upset the undefeated Nadia Kassam, but I don't know. Something about Nadia Kassam, she's got that it factor. I think she gets it done. And then what else do we got here? Kicking off the main card, another undefeated Australian fighter. Look at that. Jim Carute fighting smiling Sam Alvey. Sam Alvey, again, is at light heavyweight after a long time at middleweight. I like him there. A lot of people look at this and I think would be surprised to find out that this is a near-even fight. This is basically a pick'em. With that being said, I like Alvey to win this. I think he's going to get it done. Jim Carute is another young Australian fighter, not unlike Nadia Kassam and some of these other people. He's only 22 years old, that is Jim Carute. So he's got a lot of growing to do yet in the sport. I think Sam Alvey will help this young man with those growing pains, and I think Sam Alvey will get the job done. Elsewhere on the undercard, you have Devontae Smith. He's 9-1. He's going against Dong Young Ma. That should be an interesting matchup. Devontae Smith, he's a very talented cat. I like him to win that. And then Austin Arnett, Shane Young. I think this might be a fight of the night candidate. I like Austin Arnett to win outright, even though he's an underdog. Kai France going against Ralina Pavia. Kai France is another popular figure down in those parts, and Lando Venato's also on the other card. Jalen Turner, Jonathan Martinez. So there is some good talent on this card. But honestly, if you're a casual fan, you're probably just looking at the main event and co-main event. But if you are a hardcore or diehard, whatever you want to call it, there is some good talent spread out through this card. Also, Bellator has Bellator Newcastle going on, kind of an appetizer before UFC 234 tomorrow. Honestly, not looking forward to this. You have Patricky Pitbull, he's fighting Ryan Scobie, and then also Aaron Chalmers is fighting Corey Browning. That is it, guys. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, or whatever the case may be.